Hello fellow guitar geeks, I'm here today with the Vox Cambridge 50, a modelling amp from Vox, of course, and my first ever playing of it. So this is an out-of-the-box experience, as if I'd walked into a shop, someone had taken it out of a box for me, and I want to see what it's all about and how it works and how it sounds. So, with that in mind, I'm going to play first through the presets, and then try and make my own, I guess. It's quite a lot of features in this amp, so I'll go through that in the video, but first, let's play it and hear it. This VFSF foot switch is not included, but I will be using it to change the patches. So this is Green Bank, channel 1. I'll be playing it with this. This is the Ibanez AZES40, and miking it up with this, the E906 from Sennheiser. It's roughly just off center of the cone. Let's hear those presets. So here's preset 1. So some kind of phase going on there. It's wonderfully bassy. That is the first time, my first experience with the amp, and for that, I know it's extreme because it's a preset, but that is wonderfully filling the room. I don't know if it's going to come across over the mic, but often with these smaller amps, you don't get that sound of an amp in the room. That sounds full and rich and thick. Celestion speaker in the back, or in the middle, I should say. It says it just there. It's also got new tube technology, which is the Vox stuff. I probably wouldn't use that patch very often. But the speaker sounds wonderfully bassy. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. Also, by the way, on this view here with my top camera, ignore these settings because it's the preset. So that's not what the settings are. When I change the preset, they're saved, and these knobs do not reflect what's going on with the sound. Let's check out channel 2, preset number 2. Oh, it's a rotary! Again, it's wonderfully warm and rich and thick sounding. I wasn't expecting this from the Vox. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting something so big sounding. It sounds heavier than it is. Like, it's a light amp. It sounds bigger. Preset number 3. Okay. Obviously something fairly voxy with delay. Kind of reminds me of the Edge of U2. Ah! Okay, I'm getting across the characteristic of this amp is it's big and boomy in a full way. I don't know if that's the speaker or the amp or the box, the cabinet construction, but it sounds a lot thicker than another modelling amp that I've played quite a few times, the Boss Katana. It sounds totally different. Like, this is thick and big. The Katana cuts through and is not thin, but you have to push it to get lots of bass out of it. That is wonderfully big and thick sounding. All right, let's try the next preset. Preset channel 4. Okay, it's something more high gain. It sounds like there's some chorus there as well. Okay, there's some noise kicking in there as well, which it should be if there's a lot of gain. That's almost too thick for me. I want something a bit more clearer, so that probably needs a little bit of tweaking. Let's go back to the bridge, and if I press, let me show you. If I press this button just here, it goes red, which takes us to the second bank. Channel 1, bank 2. Brian May-like, kind of gainy. That's got to be AC30. I really hope it is, because it sounds Vox-like. That's a great Vox tone. Let me think of some Queen. That's brilliant. That has real Vox tone. Again, I'm doing this blind. I don't know what the presets are because I decided not to have a look, so it'll be like a real experience for me and for you. But I really hope that's an AC30 tone. Even if it isn't, it's one of the closest presets I've ever heard, and played that sounds like Brian May. That is extremely enjoyable to play. I want to stop the video. What was that? It's Red Bank Channel 1. I'm going to play that again later in my own time. Let's check out Channel 2. That, I'm guessing, is some kind of plexi thing, so some sort of hard rock. That's good, but I'm still thinking about that Channel 1, Bank 2 Channel 1, the red one, that I'm going to call the AC30. Channel 3. Oh, I can hear some kind of modulation going on there, some phasing. Again, really high quality phaser effect, really big, thick sound. This amp is big and thick. It's a small, tiny box, and I'm not sure how well it's going to project, but sitting this close to it sounds so thick and wonderful. I was going to turn the phaser off. There's no button to turn the phaser off. Hang on, let me put it back to there. That is one of the thickest sounds I've ever heard in a modeling amp. All right, let's try channel 4. Okay, based on the presets alone, which are in most products normally horrendous and normally way over the top and too full of everything just to show off what the product can do, there's a couple of belters in there. I really enjoyed that, what I'm going to call the AC30 Brian May tone. I'm going to have a look if there's a manual or something and see if I can actually see what these presets are called to see if I got it right. If you already know, yay me. If I'm wrong, then oh well, it still sounds fantastic. I'll be back in the shake of a lamb's tail. I couldn't find the presets listed in a manual anywhere, so I hooked it up to my Mac and then loaded on the software, which is very pretty. Look at this. It's very nice to look at. It's got your little room, and here are my presets. So if I press bank 2, channel 1, that's the Pretender. Then we've got Back in Black, Unchained, 5 Minutes Alone, Have a Cigar, so we've got some kind of Pink Floydy stuff. Vibrachorus, Pride. I was kind of right. So that was U2-ish, and that was Foxy Lady. I need to learn Foxy Lady. Okay, the one I loved was called the Pretender. Hang on, no. There we go. The Pretender. Which is a Foo Fighters song, but I'm darn sure that that is a Brian May tone, because looking at the setup we've got there. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It sounds brilliant. So far, the Vox Cambridge 50 has blown my mind, and I did not expect this to happen. This is by far an in-depth review. I just wanted to have a kind of out-of-the-box experience, because I have to send the amp back. I've only got it for a few days, but I've had it for a long time, and I just haven't unboxed it, and I'm really, really sorry, Vox, because, well, actually, it's me that suffers, because now I've had a lot of fun with it. Okay, I'm going to go to the panel on the top of the amp. I'm going to have to reach over and adjust all the settings, because now everything's on the top panel, so this top panel suddenly becomes relevant. We've got all that there, so I'm going to stick it all at 12. In fact, I need to have a closer look. Okay, so I'm on the clean, so let's whack that on. Stick a bit of reverb on. Oh no. That's nice. That's a really nice clean. Let's go for, what's the next one? Boutique clean. Ooh. That's a bit more glassy. What's the next one? I could look on the thing. We've got Boutique Overdrive, which looks more dumbly. Not my favourite so far. Next one is the Vox AC30. Here it comes, the word chime. It has it. It's got that Vox chime. That really sounds like an AC30. Confession mode. The AC30 is the most famous tube amp I've spent the least amount of time with. However, being a Queen fan, it's probably one of the amps I've heard the most in my life. Like as a kid, I basically only listened to Queen. So I know that amp sound, and I know that Brian May didn't use it that clean. But that is a great approximation of what I think an AC30 should sound like. Let's get a bit of modulation on that. Modulation. We've got a phaser. I like that. I'm really enjoying this amp. Let's try the next amp setting. This is the AC30 top boost. So this has got that crunchiness, that kind of over grittiness, I would say, not crunchiness. Put it back to the AC30 to show you the difference. Yeah, it needs something else. It needs an effect on top. So have we got any? I'm just looking through my iPod as well. We've got 8 effects types. None of them are overdrive. So you've got no overdrive kind of pedals, but okay. Now I've got a Brit 1959. So a Marshall in a Vox. That's a sound I'm more used to as a player. It's there. It's an approximation. What have we got next? We've got the Brit 800, so a JCM 800. That's close enough to, if you were playing this in a band and you needed a JCM 800, I would take this amp with that JCM 800 sound and the Vox AC30 sound over a different manufacturer that has a better JCM 800 and a worse AC30 sound. Does that make sense? So I love the AC30 in this. And the JCM 800 is okay, that I'm, without fiddling around too much, it's certainly good. I prefer that to something that has a good 800 and a passable AC30, because the AC30 in this is so good. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, the number next one. The number next one is the Brit VM. That's really fun. What does VM stand for? Let me know in the comment section what VM stands for. I have no idea. Brit VM. Volume Master? I'm being a total div now. I need to be educated. Someone school me in the comment section what VM stands for. But it sounds more... is it vintage modified? It sounds more in a sort of Van Halen sort of vein than sort of Led Zeppelin. So it feels like a hot-rodded Marshall, is what I'm trying to say. SLOD, the SLO. Okay, I've never played an SLO. I had the opportunity, but I never have. Let's play it for the first time via the beauty of the Vox Cambridge 50. Need to tune. A little heads up and shout out to one of the stars, which is this Ibanez guitar. That's very, very nice to play. Okay, SLO, I don't think I'm doing it justice. That's a good high gain sound. I'm not a good high gain player, but that's a good high gain sound. I haven't even messed really with the EQ settings. That's phenomenal. Right, what else have we got left? The VM, the SLO, the double rec. So double rectifier. Okay, I know what this is. I have no idea what to play with the double rectifier. I don't know if that's what a double rectifier is supposed to sound like, but it certainly feels like that's what it's supposed to sound like. Feels good. There's enough variation in those two different high gain models to warrant having both of them. Because sometimes I feel that companies just throw in models just to have more than the other companies. But in this case, that's warranted. And then we've got this one, which is line, which is for acoustic guitars. So it's just amping the guitar. Okay, so it's a clean amp, but it is being affected by all the effects. All the effects, all the EQ, the gain, everything is being affected on that line channel, but you can put something that I think it's without the amp model would make sense. So, what a wonderful little amp. I'm having a jolly time with it. I'm really, really surprised, and I'm really regretting not having unboxed this sooner. I am so regretful. This is by far not an in-depth review. It's more an out-of-the-box experience. How would I feel if I played this in a music shop? Would I recommend it? So far, yes, I would. I don't like when people speak like that. I just spoke like that. Would I say that? Yes, I would. What I'm trying to say is that if I plugged into this, if I went into a shop and thought, what's that Vox amp sound like? And I had to spare 20 minutes, this would be that experience. And it's currently going for crazy prices in Europe. It's 261 euros on Thomann. It's $400 at Sweetwater in America. Links are available in the video description if you fancy it. But it's certainly a great deal in Europe. I'm not sure if it's such a great deal in America right now, but 261 euros, that's a lot of amp for the money. If you're a bedroom player, this is a great option. There's so many Marshall style amps. There's so many nondescript amps, so like the Boss Katana kind of is a do-all. This one, that Vox AC30 setting is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm a Queen fan, so I'm sorely tempted to actually buy one of these, or at least not give this one back. No, it's got to go back. I'm going to miss it like heck. I really am. The other features it's got, if you're bedroom playing, it's got headphones. It's also got the, it's like a power soak. So rather than say you can have it on 5-watt mode, 50-watt mode, or 10-watt mode or something, it has a gradual knob, a potentiometer, just like the volume knob on the guitar. So if I go over to it, I'll show you. It's called the power level, and I've got it here, which is probably, I don't know, let's say 5 watts. It goes up all the way to the top there. There we go. So I am going to just play that a second. I'm probably going to mute the microphone because the microphone's definitely too sensitive to hear this. I want to hear how loud that is. perfectly manageable. It's super loud, and luckily I'm in my basement studio, so I haven't upset anybody. But that would probably keep up with the drummer just about. Bearing in mind that I'm clean, if I went on to one of the more high gain settings, quite like the SLO. Let's try that. It's super noisy now, by the way. Hang on. Shh. I need to see if it's got a noise gate. It does have a noise gate, but you can't access it from the panel on the amp. You have to use the Tone Room software. So if I go on to the software, 1 second, like that, now you can see that there's an NR just here. So if I turn it down, there's still noise on there right now, but I've got the amp turned up absolutely maximum. So we're going to see what it sounds like with the amp on max. That's super loud. All right, I'm not going to do any more of that. That definitely, on that distorted SLO channel, keeps up with the drummer. That was kind of painful. That was rather stupid. Whoops. Darn it. Let's see if I can almost complete the list of features. Check the website and the link in the video description thing, because I probably won't get this all the way through. It's got headphones out, necessary if you want to use this as a practice amp, even though this does definitely compete with the drummer. It's got aux in by a 3.5mm jack in, so you can plug your phone into it, you can plug an MP3 player into it, you can plug a mixer into it. Anything you want, you can plug into that via a cable. It does not have Bluetooth. It's got a tuner, so you can tune using the amp only. That's very, very neat and handy. If you don't have to buy, hang on, where is it? You don't have to buy this foot switch, because you can actually change and save patches on the amp itself, but you can't change as many, so this opens up more features. One small note about this is that it's only got one light, which is the bank light, so you can't actually see which channel you're on. There, that's kind of frustrating, but this is a clicky switch, and these are soft switches. Or softer switches. So if you can hear it click, you've just changed the bank. Just so you know, in case you're not looking at your feet when you're playing. Anyway, I think this is one of the best amps I've ever played, specifically in this price range. So if it's $400, that's, I'm not sure. If it's 260 something euros, that's a steal. And in the UK, it must be even less, I guess. So between 200 and 250 pounds. If you're into your Vox sounds, this is the best Vox model I've heard. On we're talking price range. We're also talking other models like the HX Stomp or something more chimey in other amps. This does it really, really well. I'm really, really pleased with that AC30 sound. That's almost worth it alone just for that quiet AC30 tone. It hasn't got any overdrive pedals in it, which is a bit of a shame. Never mind, it's got enough delay, enough reverb, enough modulation to get you through everything you want. I wish it had a mid control in the EQ. I like to have a mid control. It doesn't have an effects loop. That's not what this amp is, though. So if you're wondering why it doesn't have an effects loop, then you're kind of misreading what the amp does. It's supposed to be an all-in-one, this is what it does box. And what it does very well. One of the obvious downsides is that it does not come with this foot switch. This foot switch is not necessary if you're at home and playing just for yourself. However, if you're playing in a band, you're going to want to spend the extra, I think, $60 on this. So I'd recommend that. Nice if it was included, but at the price that it's currently at, in Europe at least, it's absolutely worth it, even without the foot switch. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Vox for sending this out, and I'm sorry I didn't get around to it sooner. I could have had a lot more fun with the Cambridge 50. It's a fantastic amp. Strong points are the AC30 settings, some of the best I've ever heard. I like that there's no guff. There's no extra added stuff that would have pushed the price up and it would have sounded rubbish, possibly. I like that Vox have condensed it down into what you really, really need and then given it to you for a very, very reasonable price. Wow. Okay, well, that's it from me and this tiny little loud box of rock. I will see you very, very soon in one of these videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, why the heck not? Go and do it now. Thanks. All right, bye-bye.